Racing action set to begin here at Speedfest 2013, Watermelon Capital Speedway. Joining me up here in the booth is Mark Keeler. I'm Adam Mackey. Matt Preer down on pit road for the first of two races on this Sunday afternoon. The Premier Building Systems 100 at Watermelon Capital Speedway. Mark, what a great field of cars we have on hand. The drivers, 5 of those doing double duty today. But we have just a handful of drivers in each race starting in the top 10 that can win. Then you go beyond the top 10 spots. We've got a lot of drivers back there that could come through the field and make themselves a threat to claim victory later today.
And definitely some dark horses there, as you mentioned, back in the pack. You got some drivers with some veterans back on the toolbox calling the shots here this weekend, helping them out for all 100 laps here for the JEG's CRA Pro late models. But also you got guys back there that finished good here back in October. Matthew Ragg starting back in the 21st starting spot, a 5th place finish here back in October with the JEG CRA series. So definitely some dark horses further on back in the pack, but they're going to have their work cut out for them with those top 10 cars up there. Yeah, we see the pace truck now pulling off on the backstretch, so looking possibly for green this time, trying to see in the starter stand if they got the green flag out, take it away, Adam.
And we are. Green flag is out. We're underway for the Pro Late Model portion of Speedfest 2013. Premier Building Systems 100 and Cody Coughlin, the JEG's #1, rockets into the lead.
Hey, Cody Coughlin, a great jump. One car off the track down the backstretch, comes across. We've got trouble in the back. Jake Griffin going around. Couple cars getting caught up, and the caution flag going to fly here with 0 laps complete.
Justin South in the 43 got off of the backstretch asphalt, kicked up some dirt. Cars started to check up, and the 08, the youngster from Quincy, Illinois, Jake Griffin, a spin on the back straightaway. 2 more cars involved on the inside of our backstretch. Caution flag is out for the first time, as well as Coughlin pick up the space. Turn number 4, and the green flag is out. They're underway. This time about a restart for Brian heading down into the first corner. But Cody Coughlin is the #1, a half-car length advantage off of 2. Brian fights back, middle of the backstretch. He's the leader.
And battle for lead now down into turns 3 and 4. It's going to be Brian by half a car length. They stay stacked up, the top 4. It's Garvey down on the inside for second. Kyle Bryant all by himself out front. Garvey now and Coughlin side by side for second.
Race leader, lap #1 complete. Navarre, Florida's Kyle Bryant. He's the leader, heads to turn 3, single file behind him. It's Mike Garvey in second. Now a battle for third. Grindle drops to the inside of leader Dalton Grindle, the driver from Flowery Branch, Georgia. The Jim Waters Motor Company, Grindle Motorsports Chevrolet, is running a unique groove. As he comes out of turn 4, his car pushes high up along the outside retaining wall, but he's able to keep his momentum up and somehow hold off Garvey, who's running right along the bottom.
Garvey's keeping that car pinched down off the corners. We've got caution on the speedway. Cannot see what it's for as of yet. 11 laps complete, but now after the caution, some trouble down in turn number 4 with Eric Stokes in the #8 car.
Eric Stokes has come to a stop in turn number 4, but the caution is for the number 12 on the back straightaway. Ronnie Whitlock stopped along the inside retaining wall on the backstretch, but his caution then results in a 2-car mishap over in turn number 4.
And Whitlock in that number 12 car bringing out the yellow. He had some problems early in practice yesterday. A brand new motor in that number 12 car. They unloaded it. Took about a half a dozen.
The car's handle on this longer green flag run. This the longest we've seen today. We're now at 18 laps complete, and here comes Garvey to the bottom. Great run off of turn number 2, and Garvey pulls wheel to wheel with Grindle. Turn 3 for the lead.
It looked like Garvey didn't even tap the brakes going into turn number 3. He pulled up alongside. He's got a 3/4 car length advantage now down into turn 1. Garvey's been using that low line, that real tight line through the corners since the start of this race. Grindle using the high side. They stay side by side into turn 3, and it's going to be Justin South looking on from the 3rd spot.
Grindle running well in that second groove. Garvey, though, trying to clear him. He goes down into turn 1. Grindle enters heavy. Car sticks pretty well to the second lane. Loses half a car length off of turn number 2. Garvey pulls ahead and has now cleared Dalton Grindle for the #1 spot. Grindle goes bumper to bumper with him in 4.
And who's behind him? Justin South putting the pressure on Grindle. Grindle not heeding the advice of his crew. Makes a little contact with Garvey. That time in the middle of turn 1.
Popping as he entered turn number 1. Problems mechanically for Dalton Grindle, the race leader. Hands the lead to Mike Garvey. Grindle turning the car left and right up in the outside lane of turn number 4. Hunter Robbins looks like he's losing a spot deep in the field again. Grindle riding down the front straightaway, waving his hand out the window. Cars going to the low side. Terrible Terrible break from the driver from Flowery Branch, Georgia.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Grindel's going to be able to make his way back to the pits. We stand to green. Now caution's going to fly with 29 laps complete. So the lead handed over to Mike Garvey. And Dalton Grindel, as we said, not heeding the advice of his crew on that last restart. They told him stay patient. If Garvey gets a shot, let him go. But perhaps Grindel knew that his time was fleeting here in that lead car, in that number 23 car. As you said, Adam, the motor popped down into turn 1. He was off the pace by the time they exited turn 2.
There was no hint of smoke, no hint of any problems for the 23 of Grindel, but as he entered turn number 1, could hear a couple of pops come from it like an ignition issue. South on the outside, lagging back about a half a car length, maybe trying to get a run on Garvey. That run won't happen. Garvey pulls away on the green flag waving of Chief starter Brian Duncan into turns 1 and 2. Garvey in the lead. South still fighting on the outside lane. Up the banking they go, right along the edge of the racetrack. Kyle Bryant looks for the runner-up spot.
And another great restart for the 79 of Bryant, that time out of turn 2. It looked like he was actually the first car in the field to get on the gas. Was able to battle with South for second, but now South has found something.
Leading this pro late model race is Justin South in the 43.
Justin South continues to hold a substantial advantage. It's going to be about 6 to 7 car lengths now separating your top 3 cars, South, Garvey, and Rubel. As Chase Elliott now, he's going to fall back just a touch. And we've got a car way off on the backstretch and down into the watermelon patch. Looks like it's the number 5 car, as we'll double check that. Caution is out with 43 laps complete.
Caution flag out. Monroe, Georgia driver Alex Roberts locking him up. And I think he got him locked up just in time to keep him from damaging the car badly. Maybe even trying to back up. I think he's partway down into maybe the creek that runs along the property back there.
And then we saw Justin South doing it again. South not quite as high as the Grindel machine. He's running probably about a middle groove, but Bubba Pollard's used the high line now too. Adam, we're going to be going back to green this time out of turn 4 South, trying to get a little bit of a jump there on Garvey.
South and Garvey side by side. Good restart turn 4. We are back underway. Garvey leads the field by a few inches heading into turn number 1. 42 laps into the scheduled 100 today. Double wide through the field, 3 wide near the tail end of the top 10. Caught in the middle as Cody Coughlin checks up in 3.
It's Alan Gordon and fully splitting the difference. Trouble though, further on back in the pack. Ashburn goes around. The 08 of Griffin goes around. Shooty going to drive off the backstretch, as does the number 2 car of McCullum. So a bunch of cars involved there. It looked like what spearheaded that one was Ashburn going around in the 98. Thankfully, no other contact. Not having a wall here in turns 3 and 4 is actually benefiting quite a few of these cars. They have some room to get around. Giving South some room. He doesn't necessarily have a choice off of turn 4, as South had that nose right underneath the number 1 car. Now we've seen Garvey likes that inside lane, not able to use it right now, so that's not going to allow him to get any kind of comfort on Justin South's machine. South a great run, but now look at Corey Rubel. He dives to the high side in turn 3, trying to help out Garvey.
Trouble mid-pack. Around goes Fisher in the 61 car. Other cars trying to avoid, trying not to pile in. Very limited damage. One car that has gone around. Get this, folks. It's Jake Griffin in the 08. He is spun. The 27 of Joe Ross gets his car turned around as well. Both will be able to continue. Limited damage, if any at all, to our competitors in this one. Started mid-pack, and the 61 of Fisher loops a car middle of the backstretch. Not happy with one of his fellow competitors is the driver of car number 61, T.W. Fisher, as he has turned the 129 of Matthew Ragger.
Probably 8 positions just changed hands in the top 8, all 8 that time with the exception of the lead. Mike Garvey hangs on to it on the high side, got a great restart. Not sure what happened with Pollard's machine coming up the speed. Now he's got Justin South and Corey Rubel. The top 4 now are pancaked together down the backstretch.
And Rubel, again, the benefactor of that restart, was able to pick up a spot, went 3 wide with Elliott. He thought better of being in the middle of that sandwich, checked up going into 3, dropped back to 5th. He knows there's still a long way to go. He's got a good car running in the 5th spot. Johnson's closed. It's a 6-car battle up front. Little breakaway, and then look who has just moved into 7th. Hunter Robbins, after that early pit stop to change a flat left front tire.
And you absolutely called it, Adam, about 4 cautions ago. You said Robbins could use those cautions and those restarts to pick off positions, and that is exactly what he's done. A smart race for Hunter Robbins so far in the 18. He's got some pressure from Jared Foley. Ooh. He's going to be on the high side now. What do you got, Adam?
Oh, the 66 of Rubel bonsai'd into turn number 3 because Elliott was fighting to the low side. He checked up. The car really got sideways. He saved it. Elliott's still fighting. Pollard slips up. Here comes South for second. Justin South back into the 2nd position as Pollard kind of missed turn number 2 a little bit that lap.
And interesting, Mike Garvey actually gave up just a little bit on the low side. Pollard tried sticking the nose down. He still remains a lap down.
It has been an adventurous day for a lot of drivers in the field, but none more adventurous than for the 08 of Griffin. And we've got the 22 sideways and on the edge of the racetrack in 3 and 4. It's going to bring out a yellow. It is for the number 22 of Kevin Herbert, and that was a decent green flag run. And wow, did we see some amazing racing in our top 10 positions.
Unbelievable when they came to the green. I don't know what Chase Elliott saw down there, but nobody else on the racetrack saw it. It was just the slightest bit of an opening, and he went from the inside to the outside.
South on the inside, Garvey on the outside. Row number 2, Pollard and Elliott. Row number 3, Rubel and Johnson. At row number 4 on the inside lane, they're all the way back up to 7th. The 18 of Robbins, ready for green, 69 complete.
Green flag in the air out of turn number 4. Just a slight advantage for Garvey on the high side. Justin South, a great run down into turn number 1. It's going to be South by 2 car lengths down the backstretch. He saw something down on the inside in turn 1. He outbraked Garvey. First on the gas out of 2. He's got a 2 car length advantage, and again, the biggest lead of the day once again belongs to the number 43 of Surprise. Jake Griffin going around the number 22 of Herbert as well. So 2 cars that have had an eventful day going around turn 4. The leader's not going to be able to get around. The yellow's out, but it's going to be tight there in turn 4.
Yeah, they got Herbert along the bottom. You've got Griffin right in the middle of the track, turned sideways. All of the cars look like they will be able to continue. 75 laps in, the 3/4 mark of today's race, and a bad break for Justin South. That was the biggest lead we had for anybody all day long. It was up to almost a half straightaway. He really put it to the field on that restart.
And Justin South, last time he was out front, was able to pretty much do the same thing. Didn't have as many green flag laps to open it up. Quite that side battle for 5th up front. Justin South, he likes that clean air. He's got a 3 car length advantage. It's going to be about a 4 car length difference between Elliott back to Bubba Pollard in 3rd. Chase Elliott, he took off at the start or the restart on that one. He didn't want any of it. Alan Gordon off the backstretch, still going down into turn 3.
He's going to get her stopped well before the creek as the car does a 360, spins around, back into the car pointed towards the creek, but still 100 feet away or so. We'll get the car moving again. We'll see if this one stays without a caution, pulls down onto the raceway. Field making a bye, but spinning is Johnson in turn 3 on the outside lane.
And an ill-advised move for Alan Gordon as he brought that car down onto the racetrack in turn 3, pulled right down just about into the groove with the leader.
For the lead now is Chase Elliott on the inside of Justin South.
Chase Elliott just got an amazing run out of turn number 2, out of turn 4. He's got a nose of the lead now on Justin South. They stay side by side into turn 1. The battle for the lead as the laps wind down. It'll be 89 complete next time by.
Closing down to the final 10 laps, and there's Chase Elliott taking the lead for the first time today, about when he would probably have his schedule to take the lead. Saved his equipment all day long. He is cleared now, Justin South, and the Dawsonville, Georgia driver looking to make it 3 pro late model wins in a row for Speedfest.
Seeing the handling go away on South's machine. White flag in the air for Elliott last time into turn number 1.
The young driver, 17 years of age, running the K&N Series a year ago. We'll see him there. We'll see him in ARCA. We'll see him in late models. Heading to turn 3, the Aaron's Rent to Own, HenryCars.com, Chevrolet, car number 9, Dawsonville, Georgia's Chase Elliott wins the pro late model portion of Speedfest. South in 2nd, 3rd place to Pollard, 4th to Rubel, and finishing 5th to 1 of Mike Garvey.
And some heated action there coming to the checker. Justin South actually with a fist out the window, waving at Bubba Pollard as they exited turn number 4. You can't really blame Pollard. He wanted that 2nd spot. Pollard still has another race to go. Wanted a good result here tonight. Keep it a podium finish. Not bad either way for Bubba Pollard as he will round out your top 3. But Dawsonville, Georgia's Bill Elliott now with the 3-peat. 3 pro late model Speedfest wins in a row. And it's hard to count out this number 9 machine anytime that Chase Elliott climbs behind the wheel of it, especially in pro late model competition.
Hunter Robbins finishing the race in 6th, Brandon Johnson 7th, Cody Coughlin 8th, Kyle Bryant 9th, Harrison Burton rallying for a 10th place finish today. Alan Gordon 11th, Jared Foley 12th, Joe Ross 13th. This is the unofficial rundown. Rodney Benefield 14th, David Hodges 15th.